here with another video of what I'm doing craft-wise while we are staying home more. Yesterday I wasn't home, and that was probably the last day that I'll be out for anywhere but the grocery store for at least the next couple of weeks, maybe longer. We don't really know yet what we are in for at this point. But I didn't get to do any crafting, but today I haven't done very much today. I've been cooking some today. I did some knitting, and I finished that last quilt block, and the next thing I'm going to do after this is go lay out this quilt block, so that'll be in another video. What I wanted to share with you, though, is I did get it in Stampin' Up order a couple of days ago. I went to an event a little over a week ago. It was a really good card class, and the demonstrator, her name was Wendy, and I will include a link to her site in the description of this if you are looking for some Stampin' Up products. I just met her, and she did a great job with the class, and I'll show you the things that I got. It's celebration time. I think through the end of this month, if you spend $50 or more, you can get a free celebration product, and the one I chose is the Happy Birthday to You stamp set. I love this Happy Birthday design. I think it's beautiful. Script, and it has a couple of other words, and then of course the centerpiece for this one is the cake. And we used the cake on the card that she had us make. She had already done this background, this embossed background on the Big Shot. I don't have a Big Shot, so the embossing folders and things are not stuff that I'm interested in, but I really love the image. It's quite beautiful. We colored it with the blending pens that Stampin' Up now has, where you have different colors that you blend together. I liked them, but I wouldn't get them for me because I have so many Stampin' Up markers, I have colored pencils, I have the old watercolor crayons. I've got a lot of ways to add color to things, so I'm going to use those for the limited amount of coloring I do. But I like this image because it's large enough for me to color. It's not so detailed, but yet it looks detailed when you get it done. So I thought it was a really, really pretty image, and then we did this for the inside of the card as well. So that's the celebration set. The other set, the set that I bought, is one called Beautifully Braided, and I bought it because I really like this large image. Large single images like this are kind of hard to find, and they are so versatile when you have them. I will probably use this with my jelly printing. You can take a really pretty background and stamp something like this in just black ink, and it looks great. This one has this shadow or background element that you can add to give color to your different leaves on this design. And then of course it's got lots of words and the braided image, which we'll get to in just a moment. And it's a photopolymer set, which is necessary because of the braiding. The braiding goes with the punch, and I went ahead and got this bundle, and I got the braided punch. Now, this is the second time I'm running this video, because the first time I ran the video, I made so many mistakes punching this, I thought, okay, I've got to go watch somebody else's video on how to use this thing and really figure out the secret to this punch. I realized yesterday or day before when I was playing with this that I had broke a cardinal rule of buying punches that I've always had for myself. I started scrapbooking back in the 90s, and I learned about the real tools and all in scrapbooking, the fancy stuff, in the early 2000s. And some of the early punches I bought, I still have a couple of them, but most of them I got rid of because I bought punches that were too hard to punch. They were really detailed. In order to punch them, you had to push really hard, or some of them I had to put them on the floor and do them with my foot. So I'm really careful typically when I buy punches to make sure that I can operate them easily. But I haven't bought a punch in years, and I forgot all about that, and I ordered this and didn't think about the fact that this is pretty intricate, and it's going to be harder to punch. The more intricate a punch is, the harder it is to press down. This one, the way it's designed, it does work as long as I'm standing up and I'm pressing on it that way. I can do regular paper, I can do Stampin' Up cardstock, but you can see, look at the mess I made. This was before I learned how to use the punch properly. I'm going to try to show you how to use this, but there are other videos out there for people who are more experienced, real Stampin' Up demonstrators who are experienced on using this kind of thing. It makes a beautiful design. If you can get a good punch out of it, you can weave ribbon through it, and of course you can use this little image to stamp on it. You can buy the punch separately, or you can buy the stamps, just the stamp set. But it's really, really pretty. I just don't know that it's going to get used a ton because I had some challenges with it. This is very thin paper. It's not even designer paper. But I'm going to use it to experiment with because I can line it up good. There are some marks depending on whether you are coming from the right or you're coming from the left. And press down like that. And then the challenge seems to be getting it lined up over here. And as I say, this is thinner paper, so it might work a little bit better with heavier paper too. But if I get it lined up well, and see, I didn't get a perfect line up. So I'm going to have to play with this and practice it some more and see if I can get better at getting images, that one's better, that will work with this. So let's try the cardstock. See if I can do better with the cardstock. I can't just hold it up and punch with it because it's just too hard for me. I don't have tons of grip strength, so that could be part of it too. All right, so let's try this. Well, I still don't have a good job with it. The video that I happened to be watching online, she said she had to play with hers a little bit to get it to work, to see exactly how to line it up before she got good images. And I'm going to have to do the same thing. As I say, this is, if I were doing it over, honestly, I would have just bought myself another stamp set instead of getting this punch. But I've got it now, and I think I'm going to proceed and see if I can make it work. And hopefully I'll get good at this and we'll do a card. I'll show you how to do this in a card and how it looks. As I say, I don't have the big shot. If you have the big shot, there are lots of things you can do. I don't think they have this image, but they have lots of other images with the big shot that you might rather have. The other thing I wanted to share with you were some of the cards that we made. I did not design these cards. I just followed the instructions and made them, but they're really, really beautiful. This one, I'm going to tie the bow right quick because I untied it a while ago when I shot this video the first time. She had all of this stuff already cut for us, and this would have done on the big shot. It's really, really beautiful. And then we just colored in the floral image and assembled everything. And the way the card works is you untie it and then you just pull and it opens it up, and I don't have the inside glued in, but that's kind of how I left mine. I need to put that in, but this was just a beautiful card that's Stampin' Up! Ribbon. I think that's gorgeous. We also did this one, which this set had this and a chick and a bunny, I think, and I did the little lamb, and then you could open it that way. I thought it was just some really cool cards that we did. But I will add a link for this video to Wendy's Stampin' Up! Site. So if products you want, I'm sure she would appreciate the orders. But I'm just sharing what has happened to me lately. So if you have your own Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, that's certainly fine. But these are just some of the things that I got recently. Really love this stamp set. I'm sure I'm going to love this stamp set. The punch I'm kind of lukewarm about right now, but I'm hoping that I warm up to it more as I use it more and get the hang of punching it. It's just a little more difficult. And I remember some of the punches, I don't want to pick on particular manufacturers, but there was one a few years ago that had a lot of really intricate punches, and I stayed away from them because I knew they were going to be really hard to work on, and I just forgot that, and I ordered this one anyway. So if I get the hang of it, it's really gorgeous, and hopefully I will and be able to use that on my cards. So that's the good and the not so good of what's going on in my craft room today. Right now I'm going to go and lay out those quilt blocks. I have to work in a different area of my house where I have more room. My design wall won't handle a 60 by 90 quilt, so I've got to work somewhere else, and I'll be sharing that on another video. Thanks for watching.